Welcome to the Golf Spotlight. I'm Ralph Irvin, and today we are talking about the latest in metalwoods from TaylorMade. And believe me, there's a lot that is new, and I'm joined by Tom Olsavsky, Senior Director of Product Creation for Metalwoods at TaylorMade. Tom, thanks for joining us again.
Ralph, great to see you again, always.
And it seems that this year, with the new releases in drivers especially, we're harkening back a couple years where you've got two different types of players and you're fitting them with the shaper, the tinkerer, and then the player that's looking for all-out distance.
Yeah, Ralph, we really call those the technician and the bomber, and we've used that philosophy since 2007 when we first launched the burner drivers. And it's been very successful for us, helping us continue number one in the metalwood category. And in reality, that's how people play, and that's how people want their clubs to perform for them. So they are two very specific types of products, and we design them with those types of players in mind.
Well, we'll start off with the new R9 Super Tri. The R9, which you introduced last year, the first club from TaylorMade that had an adjustable shaft and angles there, but it now has full adjustability and 460 cc's in the head.
Exactly. It's almost as if you married the R9 and the 460 from last year. But in reality, we did have to go in and re-engineer every bit of the golf club to get that performance out of it. The goal was, and we know when we launch products initially with a new concept like the R9 was, we know that those concepts sometimes take some weight. The movable weights we know take up weight that would be used for size. So the trade-offs have to be made usually on the initial launch. But we know the future is when we can optimize everything and get all the size and all the forgiveness and all the speed into the club in addition to the movable weight system. So the R9 Super Tri has that. It's also got obviously a very exciting new black-on-black finish that we used with the Super Quad a few years ago and has always been very well received. The club itself is designed to be much easier to play than last year's R9, but longer than the 460. So it's kind of the marriage of both worlds, a lot like children would be to the parents.
Well, and you talk about that fact is with the three weights, with the 460 cc's, it makes it play a little bit more controlled than it was previous and longer. It is the best of both worlds.
Exactly, and what we tried to do really was give a package in three weights that's very playable for the average amateur, but can be adjusted for better players or specific needs. So this golf club will be a little bit higher flying than last year's R9, but there's a number of ways to adjust that. We can take the heavy weight and move it to the front, or we can adjust the FCT to create a lower ball flight. So a number of things in the club are designed to be very easy to play for the amateur, but also to be very adjustable for the more particular player.
And that club is doing very well right now on tour.
Yes, it's been the number one model since the launch at Torrey Pines this spring, this winter, and we expect it to continue that. The only one that's close to it is actually the Burner Superfast.
Well, and you mentioned the Burner Superfast. Let's take a look because it is an all-new looking club. It is very unique.
It's very unique shaping, and what we've done was taken the dual crown to the next level. Dual crown allows us to basically lower the center of gravity, and we know when we lower the center of gravity, we get higher launch and less spin. And that's more distance for almost all players. So we've reshaped the dual crown to be more aerodynamic, also to be better looking, because that's important for players as well. But the key thing is it's a very light golf club with the largest face that we've ever made. It's 4,500 square millimeters of face area, and we talk about that because all the drivers now that we've been making are pretty much 460, but in reality some are stretched in different ways to give different performance. With the Burner being a longer, lighter golf club, face area and address size give us more forgiveness overall for a lot of players, even tour pros who are putting it into play as we speak.
Well, if you can move the weight back and down, and if you can make the face bigger, that all adds up to better contact for everybody.
Exactly, and that's important when we make a very long and light golf club. The average amateur thinks that longer is harder to hit. We've actually found that it's not much harder to hit because that player may be inconsistent in their face impacts on the driver, but they're probably inconsistent with their face impacts even on a 6-iron. That's the type of player they are in the swing they have. So we know that if we can give them more speed with the same amount of consistency, they're going to benefit greatly from that. The other key thing about the club is the new Win Light grip that we've designed with in concert with Win. It's a 29-gram grip, and it helps us lower the overall weight to be the lightest golf club in the market. It's 284 grams, which is really about a 10-ounce golf club. So we know when we get lighter, that produces more speed and a little bit more release for golfers, which is going to benefit a lot of distance and a lot of benefit to face closure as well. So it's the best of both worlds.
With the Burner line, you've also introduced new set of fairway metals. as big as 200 cc's in the club head.
Exactly, and the goal for a long time has been, can we get the performance of a titanium fairway wood, but at a steel price? And that's been the goal for a long time. We've taken a lot of technologies we pioneered with drivers, where it's an extremely thin face. We called it ultra-thin wall technology, which is 0.6 millimeters. We've used it in drivers for a couple of years, but we're just starting to use it more and more in fairway woods. By doing that in a fairway wood, we're able to keep the CG very low. That's really critical when you're trying to hit the ball off the ground. So if you keep the CG low, regardless of the face depth, you're going to get high launch and not a lot of spin that's going to give you that maximum distance. So it's the largest fairway wood we've ever made in steel, and it's a great attractive performance profile with the burner Superfast shaft and grip.
Well, and as you mentioned, because you're using steel, you're still getting the performance you always had with titanium, but again, at a lower price. So getting newer product at a lower price.
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds for the consumer. And we've even had a few tour guys put this in play because of the performance. We know that when tour players look to their equipment needs, they don't put them in play just for the heck of it or just because there's money involved. They put them in play because they work better, because that's where they're going to generate a lot more money than we could ever pay them.
Well, Tom, if people want more information on the Superfast, or even the new burner metal woods, where can they get that online?
Well, certainly there's TaylorMadeGolf.com, which has all the latest information on our new products, and it's got all the up-to-date info. So good luck and have fun looking at that.
Well, Tom, thanks for the time as always.
All right, Ralph. Always good to talk with you.
I want to thank Tom Olsavsky for joining us here in the Golf Spotlight. Join us next time as we continue to bring you the information that you need for your next golf purchase.